What's up, guys? Super 32 is this weekend, and right now we're going to be talking about the girls' divisions. They get tougher and tougher every year, and in Greensboro, North Carolina, those girls' brackets are going to be loaded with talent. So Super 32, like a lot of competitions, uses slightly different weight classes than the national rankings, but that sets up some really incredible potential matchups at catch weights. So a Super 32 weight class could have two #1 ranked wrestlers from other weight classes in the national rankings. Case in point, Julia Horger and Taylor Whiting, two wrestlers that just competed at Who's Number One just a couple weeks ago. Julia Horger was at 105 pounds at Who's Number One, dropped about to Morgan Turner, pound for pound, one of the best wrestlers in the nation. Now Horger from Pennsylvania will be up at 106, so just a 1 pound allowance basically for her, but she'll be one of the top seeds. And at 112 pounds at Super 32 will be Taylor Whiting. She was at 110 pounds wrestling Heather Krull. That was considered maybe the best upset, certainly one of the best matches of Who's Number One. Whiting beat Krull. Krull is a U17 world bronze medalist. That was an amazing match. So now Whiting will be trying for a Super 32 title up a couple pounds. What else? Well, at 118 pounds, you're going to want to remember this name. She's ranked #1 in the nation. She's the #1 seed at Super 32. Epinesa Ellison. She just won Who's Number One. She's one of the most dominant, impressive, dynamic wrestlers in the nation, and she's also a returning Super 32 champ, going to try to go back-to-back winning belts. All the weight classes are going to be gnarly, but let's highlight some other ones. 95 pounds, you got two great young wrestlers. Haley Delgado from the great state of Texas, El Paso. She's got a #1 ranking at 95 pounds. She just went up to 100 pounds, lost a tough match to Jacqueline Bouzakis, who we'll be mentioning in just a bit. But she's going to try to defend her #1 ranking at 95 pounds against everybody in that division, but I want to also highlight Justice Gutierrez from Colorado. She's a Fargo champ. That could be a potential finals matchup, and expect fireworks if those two do meet. And then up at 100 pounds, we just mentioned her, Jacqueline Bouzakis, just won Who's Number One. She's back on the mat in Greensboro, North Carolina. She's at 100 pounds. She won Super 32 last year. She's also trying to go back-to-back belts. She'll be challenged by a very deep weight class. Katie Valdez, she's a Fargo champ out of Colorado. Another name, Madison Neuenhuis. You might remember her from Who's Number One the year before in 2023. She got a victory there, and she's going to be on kind of a revenge tour because the last losses she took in her career were to Bouzakis and Valdez. So we could see some avenging in that bracket at 100 pounds. And also don't want to forget about Samantha Bertini from Massachusetts. She's a Fargo champ. She's another good young wrestler on the rise. She's going to be mixing it up at the 100-pound weight class. Moving up the weight classes at 124 pounds, this might be the best weight out of a lot of very tough weights. Everest Leidecker, pound for pound, one of the best in the U.S. She is ranked #1. She just won Who's Number One for the third time. That is a record. She'll have the #1 seed at 124. She wrestled at 125, so she's coming down 1 pound. No big deal. But coming up 4 pounds is Savannah Witt from Pennsylvania. She just had a barn burner at Who's Number One. Isabella Marie Gonzalez defeated her 9-8, but she showed how tough she was and how she's a contender at any weight that she's around, but she'll be at 124 at Super 32. Also mixing it up at 124 pounds, 3 other Fargo champions are going to be all in that one weight class. You have from Pennsylvania, both Emma Bacon and Sierra Chiesa, and from Iowa, you got Molly Allen. That is a dynamite weight class. At 132 pounds, another appointment viewing wrestler, Taina Fernandez from Maryland, but already one of the best wrestlers in the nation. She's going to be challenging for senior level world team spots before you know it. She's coming down from 135 pounds where she wrestled at Who's Number One. She's got a lot of great challenges in her bracket. She's going to be the heavy favorite, though. Other great wrestlers in that 132-pound bracket are Samantha Sachs, a Fargo champ from California. Also Carly Chesker, who wrestled in Who's Number One in 2023 from Wisconsin. And Tina McGowan, she's from New Jersey. She wrestled at Who's Number One in Johnstown, PA just a few weeks ago. I'm also really excited about 138 pounds. There's 3 girls that just wrestled at Who's Number One, but they still want to compete. They still want to test themselves. They've yet to win a Super 32 title. It's going to be the first for one of them, or someone else, a dark horse maybe, could take the crown of this weight class. They wrestled at 140 pounds at Who's Number One. They've got a great rivalry going. Bella Williams from Oklahoma. She won Who's Number One over Isis France of Arizona. They each won a match from each other, but it's been Bella Williams the last 2 times. They're going to be in that division, as well as Jordan Faust, also had a tough bout at Who's Number One. She's up from 135, wrestling at 138. That's going to be an awesome division. The last weight class I want to make sure we discuss is 148 pounds. That's because you got Belicia Manuel from Michigan. She is a Pan Am gold medalist, but she'll have a lot of competition. There's a really exciting up-and-coming young wrestler from Pennsylvania, Violet LaShore. She won Ironman, and then she won Fargo. She's going to be competing for that number one spot in the U.S., I'm sure, pretty soon. Also, two wrestlers that were just at Who's Number One, Sarah Henkel and Janiyah Johnson. They were both at different weight classes, meeting at 148. They both won their Who's Number One match, and they may not even make the finals. That's how tough these Super 32 brackets are. So everything we discussed and a whole lot more, it's all going down in Greensboro, North Carolina. Super 32, going to be the best one yet. I'll see you there.